hello. You're watching this because you're interested in learning a little bit more about the game Squadro. Is it for you? How do you play it? Is it worth buying? In this video, I'll go through the components of Squadro. I'll tell you exactly how it's played, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Super easy to learn, so definitely stay tuned. All right, so let's take a look at what's in the box and how the components look and feel. So you can see it's a nice size box. It's got a little bit of heft and girth to it. Over here, it tells you that the recommended ages are 8+. I truly believe you can have a child younger than this play. The gameplay is fairly straightforward and easy to learn. So I think you can probably go 5, 6, 7, depending on how your kids are playing games. Obviously, it's a 2-player game. And they do have a QR code here that you can just scan with your phone, and it'll take you to an instructional video. So let's open it up. Inside, you see the board, first and foremost. Nice quality board. Has some bumps here so it doesn't slide across the table when you're playing it. We have a bag, which has all the components in it as well. So if I empty those out, you can see that they're just wooden pieces. They have a mark on one side, which will help you dictate which direction the piece is going when we get into the actual gameplay. But the pieces feel really nice. We have a lighter wood stain and a darker mahogany red wood stain for the 2 players. And it comes in this nice carrying bag. And then you have the instruction booklet, which is pretty straightforward. They have a ton of different languages that this game comes in. But when you do scroll to your page to find the instructions, it all fits on just one page. Because again, the instructions are really, really simple. So let me get this set up for a game, and then we can go through how it's played. All right, so I have the game board set up and ready to play. Couple things you'll notice is that unlike chess and checkers, where you're maybe sitting across from your opponent, this game is set up where you can almost sit next to your opponent. We have one player, the red player we'll call on this side, and we have the white player on this side. There's 5 pieces per player. The object of the game is to get your piece to the other side and back. The first player to do this 4 times, so you don't need all 5 pieces, but 4 of your pieces to the other side and back wins. Just that simple. Now, how do you actually move your pieces? After you've determined who's going to go first, you're able to move your pieces noted by the pips next to each piece. So this piece has 3 dots, which indicates that this piece can move 1, 2, 3 spaces, so on and so forth. So this piece, which only has 1, would move 1. This piece that only has 2 would move 2. And that's how the play starts. So it rotates one player to the next, moving the amount of spaces based on the pips. When you get to the other side, so if I get to the other side and then turn my piece around, which is now going back this way, you'll notice that the pips have changed. So a piece that once went 3 now only moves once. So let's say we get to a point in the game where a board maybe looks like this, where you have the red piece here moving on 1, and we have the white piece here that moves 2. You can jump your opponent, right? So if you were to jump your opponent, meaning that if I were to go 1, 2, right, and since I can't land here because a piece is here, I now have to move here. That pushes this piece back to start. If this piece were already on this side of the board, then they would get back to this part of the threshold. So it pushes the piece back to the threshold, and they have to continue their journey. Whether or not the piece is going to almost land on the piece or it makes a smooth jump over, the same action happens. So that's where you get into a little bit of a combat with your opponent. And it's really that simple. Once your 4th piece makes it off the board, you win. What are my overall thoughts on the game? I think it's really fun to play. It's easy to teach, and it's really easy to get someone to take the time to play with you. The game lasts maybe 20 minutes, could go longer if you are in a back and forth, and there are definitely strategic moments. If you like games like chess or checkers, this is definitely a good game to check out. Like you saw, super easy to learn and teach, and you can get going in no time. It's relatively affordable. At the time of this video, it was about $30 to $35 on Amazon. So I think it's worth it. This line does make other games similar, and I'd love to check them out and see how they compare to Squadro.